Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the man of the hour. We call him Marvelous around here. Our guy, Marvin Mims, man. Thank you for joining us on the show, brother. What's up?
What's up, man? Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
No problem, man. No problem. You know how we do it, Braden. Not wasting any time, straight to the chase. But first,
Straight to
tell
it.
the people, man. Tell the people, how did you get to OU?
Man, it was kind of a crazy situation. So, my first ever recruiting visit was to OU. I came whenever y'all played TCU. I think it was Baker's last year, so it must have been CD's freshman year. I'm pretty sure TCU was probably like maybe top 10 in the country. Y'all were too, so it was a pretty big deal. It was a night game. It was real cold, but man, I loved it. And like at that point, I was a sophomore, and I didn't really have any offers or anything. No coaches talking to me. I just like my receiver trainer just knew Coach Simmons, and he got me tickets to the game, so I came up and checked it out. And then, I mean, ever since then, I mean, me and Coach Simmons talked. Then I started talking to Coach Gundy a little bit more as I got older. And then senior year, I started talking to Coach Riley, and then took more and more visits. Only 2.5 hours from Frisco, Texas, where I'm from, and then decided to choose OU.
Okay. Very straightforward.
Yeah, short and sweet. Like it.
Yeah.
Now,
But
Marvin.
hold on.
Oh,
Before we get into that, I want to say that Marv was kind of like a high school legend. I heard about Marv before I even got here just because of the stats that he used to put up. Marv in a single it has the Texas State high school record for receiving yards in a career with like 5,000 and like 2,000 in the season. And that's what I always used to hear because I wasn't in high school at the time. But like everybody that used to talk to me, they like all my high school coaches used to be like, hey, they used to talk to me about and guys that are coming and they'd be like, yo, that Marvin kid, he's like that. I was like, oh, for real? I was like, okay. So yeah, Marv's kind of like a big deal. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, hey, Marv's kind of a big deal. We'll just
yeah.
leave it at that.
Hey, 5,485 yards, career yards, and 2,629 in the season, to be specific. Marv, what do you think when you look back and reflect on those numbers?
I mean, honestly, like just the other day, I was kind of scrolling through some stuff, saw some high school stuff, and then like all that stuff came up. And I looked at like my high school highlights and stuff like that, and it's crazy. Like being in the moment, living through it. I mean, I was just kind of like taking it game by game. Didn't really care too much about my numbers, just about winning. It's my senior year. You want to go off right, but I mean, looking at it now, I mean, it's crazy. Like you don't even hear those type of numbers like anywhere. It's like video game type stuff, but
That's what I'm saying.
it,
That's why I heard it and I was like, wow, that's ridiculous.
yeah.
2,000 in a season, just receiving. Come on now.
Yeah, what blew me away was I heard that you scored on the first play of every game. Was that a thing, or is that just people talking?
Yeah, like me, our OC at the time, he just about every game he always schemed up a first play to go out there and run. And there's always like a deep ball to me. Towards the end of the season, we started doing trick plays where it looked like it was going to me, going to somebody else, and like teams kind of caught on to it, but they just couldn't like really stop it. But it was something that definitely happened every game. I mean, that was kind of like the first. It was definitely like the first maybe 3 plays. Definitely first play most games. So
Man,
Set the
that's great.
tone.
I've never heard of that. Like, whoa. Do you think that you were underrated at all? Like, I mean, I know you were like what 150 something in 24/7 sports and all that type of stuff, but you had all these yards, bro, like record breaking stuff. And to me, I don't know, that seems kind of low. I don't know if I'm tripping or anything, but did you ever feel that way?
um, coming out of my sophomore year, you're young, kind of have a big year. I had like over 1,000 yards, maybe like 1,200. So I was like a 4 star coming out. Junior year, kind of like dipped a little bit in production, and then they kind of like rated me down to a 3 star in the summer. And like at that point, I just kind of like took that kind of personally, like going down to a 3 star. So yeah, senior year happened. Well, during the summer, I committed to Stanford, and then got accepted to the school and everything. Senior year happened, and then I started going crazy since the first game. And while the season was going on, I mean, I didn't really have coaches contact me or anything because I was already committed. But I want to say maybe the first round of playoffs, I decided to decommit and commit to OU. Well, like before I committed to OU, I told my high school coach, "Hey, I only want these three schools talking to me. They're all like close schools. And I ended up taking an official to OU, an official to TCU, and then after coming to OU and stuff, I just knew that I wanted to be here. Talking to Coach Gundy, Coach Simmons, Coach Riley again. I mean, it felt pretty good, and I committed to OU. But yeah, I mean, that probably like dipped my ranking a little bit, just not posting the whole decommitment thing out there, just because I didn't really want like a whole bunch of coaches and stuff, like calling my phone, texting my phone while all day while I was in school and stuff like that.
Understandable. Understandable. So you didn't tell anybody that you decommitted. You were just like, I'm gonna tell Stanford, and this
Yeah, I
this
just
is it.
like told Stanford, I was just like, yeah, I'm not gonna come anymore. They were pretty upset about it. Then I told my high school coach, contact Coach Gundy, TCU and Oklahoma State. They're all
Was it
close
hard to
schools.
decommit? I've never. Once I committed, I just stuck with OU. I didn't really talk to anybody else. So
Yeah,
was
and I
that conversation
committed
tough?
late, so I didn't have that choice
I
or
mean, yeah,
opportunity, or I didn't want to. So
yeah, it was weird because like like being a young kid, stuff like that. You don't really want to go into like confrontation and stuff like that. But my dad made me call the receiver coach and stuff, and it was just awkward conversation. Especially being young, you don't want to sit there and like hear him try to do last little spiel, like decisions already made, like I'm not gonna come to Stanford. So it was a difficult conversation, but at the end of the day, like something that had to happen.
Understandable. Shoot, moving on to something a little bit more positive. Your freshman year at OU, man. You come in, you have 35 plus catches, 600 plus yards. Were you surprised by the success that you had so early on? What you ended up being almost a unanimous freshman All American, and were you unanimous? Well, I don't even know if they have unanimous freshmen, but you were All American and all that type of stuff. So, how was that?
I mean, it was crazy, like coming in to OU, especially OU, after CD Lamb leaves, it's like a real notable name at receiver. Just all the people they've had there. And for me to come in, do the things I did freshman year, I mean, it's something that I didn't even expect myself. I've just been happy, be out there on the field. At that time, I was starting at punt return. And I was like, I was happy to start at punt return. You know what I mean? Like a young guy stepping in, you just want to go out there and have an opportunity. But to have the season that I had, the numbers I put up, stuff like that, I mean, that's something I did not expect at all my freshman year.
Well, I wasn't surprised when you started putting up numbers because once I saw you in practice, I was just like, this kid can fly. Those were my first impressions. I was like, yeah, this kid definitely ran track. Like, there's no way he didn't.
yeah, that was the same impression. But my impression was not from practice. My impression was during the off season when we ran the 40s, and they clocked you. They had all the older guys running, or they had all the older guys on the lasers, and they had all the freshmen come in and do like hand times, and you clock something like crazy hand time. And then they're like, get over to the lasers, and you ran like the same thing on the lasers. And I was like, yo, that's that's nuts.
Yeah.
And that's what
Yeah.
we had guys. We had guys that could run too at that time too. So I was like, but that's like freshmen coming in running that. That's kind of nuts. But
Yeah.
that was my first impression that you could fly as well. So
Yeah, it's crazy
Appreciate
when I
y'all,
watch
man.
you when I watch you run, Marv. It looks so effortless. It's not like Kennedy Brooks effortless. Like I don't know what his deal is, but for you, bro, your mechanics are so smooth. It's pretty cool to watch you run. So little positivity for you. But moving
Appreciate you.
on to like some football stuff, bro. We got all the background out of the way. Tell us about what the people want to hear. The Texas toe tap. And we can also touch on the celebration between you guys, I guess.
Well,
they've already heard my side of the story. So now it's your side.
yeah. Well, that was a crazy play. 30-19. I'm gonna be honest. Like, how they always like say like no to the situation, no all that stuff. I didn't know it was 30-19. Like going that game, man, it was so hot. Like I don't know about y'all, but like at the end of that game, I was hot. I was tired. I like mentally, I was out of it. Like
Yeah.
I was lightheaded, all that stuff. So like they call the play, they know it's gonna be cover two. We call the play, and like I run my route, and like I'm probably like the top read on this current route just because of the play. And, like I run it, the corner's kind of right there in the way, so I just take off, and like I beat them, maybe have like a yard or two of separation, And I look back, I don't even like see Caleb. Next thing you know, he steps up in the pocket, and we make like eye contact for like a quick second, and he launches it. And like I'm literally just eyeing the ball, not paying attention to anybody near me, like, and I catch like I'm feeling off the corner and stuff like that, and I go up for the ball, and like my first instinct is like put something down, like my foot or anything. Like if I'm be honest, like I didn't even know I was on the sideline, like any of that. And I land and I saw the red, and then I got up like all happy and stuff. I wasn't sure if I was in or not. Then I see B Will running down like literally full speed. I'm looking at the ref and stuff. He picks me up. And like I try to get off of him, but he just holding me like so tight I couldn't get off of him. And I just started like wiggling, just a whole bunch of energy let out. I mean, crowd went crazy. Like I had so much energy in that situation.
Oh, that's what I told. That's what I told the pod. Or I told the pod earlier in the season when it happened after the game was that you were looking at the ref trying to see like if you like had scored or anything, and I was like, no, you scored, you're good. Like,
yeah.
But
Bro,
yeah, that was funny.
From my
There wasn't even,
perspective,
like,
oh, well, go ahead, Mark. Go ahead.
yeah, there wasn't even like any words said like to anybody that came up to me in the end zone. It was just like it, honestly, like everybody was just speechless. Like it was crazy, especially the game we were having, like coming back as much as we did, like how much we were down, how down bad we were, like coming back in that situation, that play, 30-19, like basically like a Hail Mary type throw. It was crazy.
From my perspective, bro, I didn't even know what was going on. I just saw the crowd go crazy. I didn't even know Braden picked you up. I was just smiling, cheesing, and yeah, it's all, to be honest with you, the whole thing is a blur now.
Yeah.
I do
Yes.
remember being tired though, bro. Texas every year, man.
So tired.
So tiring, so
Yeah.
hot, bro. I was cramping at halftime. I was cramping after the game. I thought I did a good job hydrating and everything, but it seems like it's never enough, especially
It's
once you
never
play a
enough
game
because
like
you
that.
just exert so much energy, bro. I remember after the game trying to get back to the locker room while everybody's on the field, asking you for pictures or whatever the case may be, bro. It took me like 10 minutes to get to the locker room. I was like, yo, I'm like hurting right now. So yeah, every year you're just exhausted.
Ooh. But Marvin, what'd you think about the fans coming on the field after the game? That normally doesn't happen.
Yeah, I mean it's happened to us a couple times this year, but that was the first time it happened. But I mean, it was crazy. It was wild. I don't think they came as fast as I thought, as I think I remember. But like just people coming up to me and stuff, asking for pictures and stuff, like smelling the alcohol and then their breath and all that junk, like blowing it in my face. Like it's kind of like a backup type thing. At the end of the day, like I was like chilling, taking pictures and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I was trying to look for my family and like people kept coming up asking for pictures and I didn't want to be like mean, be like, nah, I'm not taking a picture. Like I was taking pictures, found my sister, and I found my parents, and like trying to sit there and talk to them, and then people still coming up asking for pictures. It was wild. I was out there for at least like 20 minutes.
Bro,
I was out there for a while.
that's exactly how I felt. I didn't want to be rude, so I kept taking pictures. I'm
Yeah.
like, bro, you're sweating and I'm sweating and your breath smells like alcohol. I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah,
it's not it's not an ideal situation. That normally doesn't happen after
it
the
does.
Texas game. Normally they let us be. Did you see me wave the flag? What'd you think of my
I
flag waving skills?
I didn't see anything. Like I didn't get in the picture with the gold hat. I didn't see you wave the flag. I didn't see anything. I was literally like basically like in my own world. Like people coming up to me. I couldn't even get in the picture. Like, I look at the picture like to this day and like, oh, I'm not even in it. It's crazy.
Wow. Yeah, no, I always make sure I get in the pictures. I'll never
Gotta get in
forget.
picture. Gotta get in
Always.
front.
Me.
It's all right, bro. Everybody's gonna remember your name forever after that game, so I think you'll be
True
okay.
that.
Hey, but moving on to what we got going on currently. Lincoln's out the door. A lot of moving pieces going on in Norman, but Venables has come in, brought in Levy. Do you have any first impressions or any thoughts on those guys? What do you think about them?
I mean, yeah. I mean, listening to both of them talk, especially Coach Venables. I kind of told him like the way he came in and stuff. Like we kind of needed that, like as a team. It had been kind of like a defeated week. No one really showing up to work out the facility. Like people doing their own thing. He came in with some energy. It kind of brought everybody back to life. So like him as a person, the things he values, the things he speaks on. Stuff he said during the team meeting, like I'm bought into it. Like I'm excited to have him here. And as far as Coach Levy goes, I mean, I've talked to him a couple times. Seems like another great guy, especially with his resume. The offenses he's had in the past. I mean, they're real good, explosive offenses, passing and running. But yeah, that weekend I also recruited. I was also doing the recruiting, the officials. So I was able to eat dinner with them, catch up with them even more. But it was crazy because you have like recruits and stuff asking you questions and like, bro, you've probably talked to him more than I have. Like at this point, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't answer anything for you unless it relates to Norman, Oklahoma. So, but yeah, two great guys. I mean, I'm excited for it. Feels like they're going to turn around this program. Something that we definitely needed. I feel like there's a different energy right now in the locker room with the team.
For sure.
That's funny that you say that because everybody that has, announced that they're coming, staying back, and he's basically has met with all the younger guys. You, Braden. I didn't. I was telling Braden I didn't get a chance. I wasn't on the meet with Jay Hall list. I just had to go up there and talk to him myself. So I thought that was pretty funny. Matter of fact, I just ran into Venables at Qdoba about 2 hours ago. And so,
wow.
Yeah, I didn't even. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I forgot to tell you that, Braden. Yeah, before we
Doba fan.
On. Yeah, he was just at Doba. I was with a friend, and she was like, "Is that who I think it is?" He had on a hat. I didn't recognize him. He was in front of me, and I was like, I was like, Coach. I don't think he wanted to turn around because he didn't. People probably always messing with him and stuff. But he turned around and he told me congratulations on graduating and everything. So just had to throw that out there. But Marv, man, before we let you go, is there anything that you want to talk about? Anybody you want to shout out? Family, sisters, brothers, friends.
Man, shout out to my family. Like, appreciate y'all for everything y'all do for me. Appreciate y'all, especially the H-backs, the Mr. Do everythings. Hopefully after this, I'll be an honorable H-back. We'll see, though. We'll see if y'all accept me. But I appreciate y'all for letting me come on here, for real. Like, I saw the little screenshot y'all did on Twitter. Y'all above the Pat McAfee show.
Yeah.
Like, I've never watched the Pat McAfee show, but I always see clips of it and stuff, so that's pretty big. Like, I'm happy for y'all. Proud of y'all. I appreciate y'all for letting me come on here.
Marv, do you listen to the pod at all? Or are you just
I have listened to it a little bit. I'm following on Twitter, everything. Like, I saw y'all doing something I had to buy into a little bit.
Oh, my God. So. Oh, my God. Definitely honorary H-back after this.
For sure. If it makes you feel any better, bro, we wanted to get you on her earlier, but the weekend Pat came on, we were going to have you because you had like 3 catches. I think it was it Texas? No, it was another game, but you had like 2 or 3 touchdowns and crazy stats. But Pat won that award, and so I was like, well, I think we're gonna get the old head on here. But you've been highly requested, so I couldn't go throughout the year without having you on.
Funny story. Thinking about like how basically one of those weeks right after we were about to have him on, and what Mar just said kind of reminded me of that, and what you said both kind of reminded me of it. Marv saying honorary H-back. You remember like right after that week we were about to have him on, we call a tempo play and Marv lines up in line. And I was like, he's really about to go line up. That's an H-back. He gets in a 3-point stance, lines up in line and everything. It was ready to go. I was like, okay.
Bro, that was crazy because like we had like some type of formation. Me and Drake were both in. And so, like, they called a little tempo play, and I'm looking at Drake, and Drake keeps going out to receiver. So I'm like, oh, man, I'm going to have to go be a tight end. I didn't even know what I was doing because I thought Drake was going to do it, like, go block and stuff. But he was, like, a little banged up, and I was like, oh, man, I'm going to have to go down in there. So I went down there, got in a little 3-point stance. I was about to down block, probably as hard as I ever have in my life. Then they changed the play, bro.
They were like, no.
When they called that, man, my head was like spinning. I was like, oh, what do I do? Like, do I pull? Do I do this? Like, man, that was hilarious. We got to keep that like in our memory because that was funny. I completely forgot about that until you brought it up.
That was so funny. And the craziest thing was you lined up where you were supposed to and everything. Like, he was actually like, we could have ran a play, but yeah.
For sure. Well, Marvin, that is just shows how much of a team player you are. But thank you for coming on to the pod, man. Appreciate you, love you, and we'll see you in the morning.
Love y'all boys too. Appreciate y'all for having me.